अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So today is the last class on Das Lakshan Dharma. First one was introduction, come Uttam Shama, and then on each day we were doing one classes of one. So in total there are 11 points to be discussed in this chapter. I will make you the co-host. 1 minute. Yeah. Speech of forgiveness. So the first religion was supreme forbearance, and we also suggested supreme forgiveness, but now here it is written as speech of forgiveness. So what we have suggested in the first place was very apt. Shama is forgiveness. So there are 11 points. I would like you to first mark it out so that even if I miss out on some point, you can always point out. The first one is on the page number 119. Last paragraph. 190, last paragraph. Yeah, seeking apology. That is the first point. It completes on page number 191. Second paragraph, discernible in it. Yeah, it ends there. Then page number 192, last paragraph. People feeling apology, number 2. And it gets over in the next page, in our heart. That's that paragraph itself. Yeah. Then the next paragraph is the third point, and it contains 2 paragraphs, one and the next one. So last, inner self, it ends as inner self. Then page number 194, the answer is that although, in the middle, that is the 4th point, and it ends on the next page, page 195, not a correct thing. Yeah. 4th ends there. 5th one starts in the last paragraph of the same page. The above question, it ends in that paragraph itself, Shama Vani. Then we move on to page number 197. Second paragraph. Not that, 197. Yeah. There is also a valid reason, 2 paragraphs, given up totally. So this is the 6th point. Then the next page, 198, 3rd paragraph, to seek pardon or to grant pardon. 7, yeah. And it carries up to the next page, 199, real sense. Yeah. Then the next page, last paragraph, the best depiction, 8th point, and it ends on the next page, brave warrior. Yeah. Then next page, middle of the page, also what is the sense in such apology? 9th point, 2 paragraphs, consequentialities of peace. It ends there. Then the next paragraph is 10th point, the thing most important. And it goes up to 3 paragraphs, page number 203, middle, faults and miseries. And then the 11th point starts from the next paragraph, the apathy towards 11th point, and it ends on the next page, eternal bliss. So now the first point, coming on to page number 190. We are not into the definition right now, but there is some discussion before that. Page number 190. Seeking apology, which used to be a personal affair, page 190. Last paragraph. 190, last paragraph. Yeah. Seeking apology, which used to be a personal affair, has nowadays become a market commodity. That means people in earlier times, when this book was written, there were no WhatsApp, mobile. So people used to communicate with postcards and all that. So seeking apology has now become a market commodity. Market commodity means by just sending the cards and even not knowing whether you have done any wrong with them or not, but just whatever relatives are there, everyone should be sent this card. Okay. And the helper or the employees were given that list. You send across all these people this Samavani card. To apologize or to forgive is a serious matter. It is a holy religion which can change the life behavior of the Jeev, rational beings. Not only it can change, but as a matter of fact, the life of the forgiver and that of the seeker of apology gets automatically changed. So this is a very serious matter, but it has been made as a market commodity, and just there is no feeling attached to it, it's just a formality. But in reality, this is a very this can change the life of a person, and we will see in few examples also that how their life also got changed. So it changes the life of the forgiver, and it also changes the life who is seeking a apology. Okay, both are benefited, but one doesn't know as to how has this two-legged human being become such a smooth jar that no water is retained on it. His black blanket does not entertain any other color. So the author wants to say here that this Shamavani is such a holy religion that it can change the life of a forgiver, and also who is seeking an apology. But make use of it, in their day-to-day life. Since they don't understand it very clearly, they are not able to put it in practice also. Many important and significant festivals occur. Several holy spiritual saints come and go, but the mundane man remains unconcerned, unaffected, uninfluenced. He is not influenced by any of the whether it is saints or festival or whatever would be the situation. He may also go to Samosaran, the holy assembly, and from there also he comes back without understanding. So there cannot be a better instrumental cause than the Tirthankar himself, and he is not able to capture Tirthankar's voice, then who else can make him understand? He continues maintaining his stand. He might have celebrated even a score of Shamavani festivals. Score means 20 or more. Nevertheless, even 20-year enmity is continuing undisturbedly. Okay, so 20-year-old enmity is continuing undisturbedly means listening to this Shamavani every year for 20 years, and still there is no changes in his attitude, there is no changes in his heart. He's the same person with same level of anger, enmity with that other person. Is continuing undisturbedly. Even not a little bit decrease is discernible in it. So not a little bit of improvement is visible in it. That's what they mean to say. So the conclusion is that people are following Shamavani as per tradition, but they don't know what is the exact actual meaning of Shamavani, and how it's such a wonderful tool that it changes your life. Okay, so it's such a important and valuable thing that whoever understands it is really his life changes, he gets all the good things in life, and his life becomes happy. Now going to the next point, second point, page number 192. People feeling apology by uttering the words pardon me, pardon me, pardon me, please, will be found everywhere. But nowadays, the people really begging forgiveness by heart and granting pardon by heart are to be found very rarely. So this is the fact that nowadays people really begging forgiveness by heart. On the surface level, everyone does it, but they don't mean it what they are saying. But there are very few people who knows the meaning of forgiveness by heart and granting pardon by heart. So there are very few. Actually, the correct attitude towards Shamavani should be something like this, that we apologize by pure heart, we apologize by pure heart, either meeting face to face or through correspondence, with due regard for making mention of our mistakes and misbehavior, and forgive and seek forgiveness with pure heart. So this is found very rarely, and this can be done only when you have a proper understanding of the concepts. And when you go deep into these concepts, then only you are able to forgive and also seek forgiveness. Both things can be practiced when there is a purity of the heart and you are able to understand the words of the acharyas and the scholars. In other words, what is necessary is that we should develop real forbearance in our heart, real forgiveness in our heart. So this religion of Shamavani or the Das Lakshan Dharma is something that we should do through by our heart. It cannot be superficial. To derive the real benefit of it, we should do it by our heart. The third point, the next paragraph. One may ask here as to what is all this that I am talking about in respect of this holy festival. So why there are so much of negative discussions where the people are not doing this and that? But I wish to know, have you any time after forgiving many people and seeking pardon from many people indulge in self-introspection? So Dr. Bharilji is asking us, why I'm talking all this? Because have you any time, means he is asking us, have you any time after forgiving many people and seeking pardon from many people indulge in self-introspection? Do you see the changes that has been done in yourself, in your modification? So have you checked it? If not, better you do it now and see for yourself whether there is any marked difference or change in your practical life, or it is going on as usual. So until and unless you do the self-introspection, you will not able to realize the difference or change that has happened in you. If it is going on as usual, then please ponder over seriously on matters discussed by me. Don't let it just go unattended. Should I expect that you will pay attention towards this? If you will, you are sure to get some benefit. Otherwise, things will continue the same way. No benefit is likely to result from it. So, this is a very serious concern that unless and until we understand it from our heart, merely speaking pardon me won't make any changes in our life. And if we are able to understand it and put it in practice in our day-to-day life, then definitely it is going to benefit us, and we are going to get a good positive result from it. The real purpose of celebrating Shamavani is that during the great festival of Paryushana, by the adoration of the 10 religions, our heart should be found overflowing with the feeling of forbearance. Okay, so our heart should be found overflowing. So when things come at a saturated level, and if you further put into it something more of that thing, then it overflows. Like we see in our tank in the society, most of the time, the watchman sometimes don't close that tap on time. So there is some overflow, and there is so much of wastage of water. So similarly here they are saying that our heart should be found overflowing. Okay. So first, initially we were absorbing it, but then the level rose to such level that it started overflowing with the feeling of forgiveness. And as a jar, when gets overfilled up to the neck, starts overflowing, similarly, when our heart jar gets overwhelmed, overfilled with the sacred water of forbearance, sacred water of forgiveness. Forbearance should start overflowing through the speech also. Only then, as a matter of fact, it could be called the forbearance of speech, vocal activity. That is Shamavani. But nowadays, forbearance is simply found in words only. It has rather no relation with the inner self. So this is the main problem. People are not able to understand it, and they are just doing a formality by saying Shamavani, Samavani, only through speech. But there is nothing on the heart. His heart is same as it was earlier. It has not softened a bit. Because of this 10 days, if you are constantly listening to the lectures, then there are a lot of other things that are available on the internet nowadays. So you have access to so much of material, but if you are not able to capture the real meaning of each words, then it will not have any impact on your life. So the author says that the real fruit of forgiveness is not being manifested in the people. They are just saying forgiveness in words only. It has no relation with the inner self. So that means the sense of apology is not imbibed in our heart. And it is because of that our apologies and all have become superficial, artificial, and it is not something that is coming out of the heart. Now the fourth point, the next page. So forbearance, the question was, the forbearance is the name of absence of anger. Why are you putting the terms and condition that a forbearer should also be prideless, simple, and straightforward, etc., etc.? Okay. The answer is that although forbearance is the name of absence of anger, yet Shama Vani, apology speech, is not simply concerned with forbearance in the form of absence of anger only, but it is also related to the adoration of supreme forbearance, supreme modesty, etc., etc., all the 10 religions, in the form of absence of anger, pride, deceit, greed, false, and so on, etc. That is psychic emotions and the passionlessness arising due to that. The hindrance in apologizing is not the anger passion, but the pride passion. If somebody is not able to ask for forgiveness, that is just because of his pride passion. And we have seen in case of Ravan, um, his mind has changed and he wanted to return Sita to Ram. But then the pride passion rose and he thought, I will defeat them and then I will give Sita back to them. But he himself got defeated and he got killed and he has to go to the hellish being. The anger passion may be a hindrance in forgiving, but not in apologizing. When we say that Khame mi savva jiva, all the human, all the living beings, not only human, but all the living beings. Khame mi savva jiva, savve jiva khamantu me. So I seek forgiveness from all people and I also give forgiveness to others also. Mitti me savva bhuesu Veram Majamna Kenvi. I grant pardon to all living beings and I seek pardon from all living beings. May all living beings forgive me. I am friendly towards all living beings. Mitti means friend, mitra. I am friendly towards all living beings and inimical towards none. So I don't have any enmity with anybody. Inimical is bare bhav, enmity. Then we take oath of giving up enmity by telling, I forgive all the living beings, or resolve to give up anger, enmity. And by telling, may all living beings grant me pardon, we take pledge of giving up pride, okay, or resolve to give up pride. So in the first case, you are giving up anger, and in the second case, you are giving up pride. So in both the cases, you are only being benefited, okay. Likewise, the feeling of being friendly towards all living beings is the contemplation of achieving straightforwardness in the form of avoidance of deceitfulness. So you have covered the third one also, straightforwardness, supreme straightforwardness, religion of supreme straightforwardness, and the fourth one of avoidance of deceitfulness. Therefore, limiting Shamavani only to the avoidance of anger is not a correct thing. All the other religions are included in anger. So it is not only anger, but anger plus other 9 religions are included in this. The fifth point, page number 195, last paragraph. The above question can be raised only if the meaning of Samavani is taken only as Shamavani. The true real meaning of Shamavani is Shama Adi Vani. Adi means all the others 10. Supreme penance, supreme renunciation, supreme non-attachment, or supreme non-possession, and the last one, supreme celibacy. So it includes all the other also. Speech of forbidden modesty, etc. The emergence of perfect holiness, serenity, in the form of worthlessness, modesty, straightforwardness, contentment, truthfulness, continence, austerity, renunciation, non-attachment, and celibacy, evolving in the self, that is soul, by the adoration of forbearance, etc., 10 religion, is the real Samavani, speech of passionlessness. Okay, so it does not include only forbearance, but along with forbearance, there is all other 9 types of religions are also included. So long as all the 10 religions do not get manifested in our practical life according to our spiritual capacity, till then we will not get the true real benefit of Shamavani. Sixth point, page number 197. So this Shamavani is celebrated thrice a year. It is not celebrated, but it is coming thrice a year, as the 10 Lakshan are also there thrice a year. There is also a valid reason why Shamavani festival occurs thrice in a year. It is this, that apratyakhana varan kashai, okay, the second level of passions, the passion which hinders partial abstinence. Okay, so if somebody is at the 4th stage of spiritual development, then he must have apratyakhana kashaya. So this passion hinders partial abstinence, so he cannot renounce partially also. Does not last for more than 6 months. So we should not have grudge with anybody for a longer period. If it is for a longer period, then again he comes back to the delusion stage. Okay, so it is good that every 4-5 months we do this Shamavani and clear our heart. We don't have any ill feelings towards anybody, and that will manifest eternal bliss in us, and we will be also able to experience the serenity, the calmness of the soul. If it exceeds this time limit, then it should be understood that it is Anantanobandhi Kasai. the intensest type of passion which leads to infinite births and miseries. Anantanubandhi Kasai is the root cause of the endless cycle of worldly existence. Hence, if the festival of Shamavani is celebrated within every 6 months and we get our anger, pride, etc. washed off within 6 months, then it would be in our interest. Okay. And if the enmities goes beyond the 6 months, then he again comes back to delusion stage. Okay. First stage of spiritual development. Enmity is not a thing to be kept even for a day. As a matter of fact, antagonism should not be allowed to emerge. If by chance it is imbibed, then it should be washed off immediately. Even after this, if it persists, then at least on the day of Shamavani, the heart should be purified. That is, enmity should be given up totally. So if you are not giving enmity in yourself, then you are going to suffer, because the passion burns the one who is manifesting in himself. Okay. He may do harm to others according to their auspicious and inauspicious karma, but the one who is doing it, he immediately gets his fruition. Okay. He's not able to manifest his pure qualities. That is the biggest loss. Now moving on to the 7th point, page number 198. To seek pardon or to grant pardon is not a combined process of two living beings. So we need not lead two living beings to get through to this process of Shamavani. It is totally an independent personal affair. You need not know, you don't want anybody. You can individually do it by yourself. Samavani is a religious modification, is a spiritual process. And concurrence. If you want to observe forbearance, it is not essential that when someone begs pardon from us, only then we can grant him pardon. That is, can observe forbearance. Even on not being approached by the faulty person for apology, he can be granted pardon. If it were not so, then observing forbearance would also have become a process dependent on others. If someone does not seek pardon from us, then he himself has not given up his pride passion. And if we have granted him pardon, even without being apologized by him, then we have benefited not him, but ourselves by giving up our anger feeling. So if you are forgiving somebody, then you are, means if you are seeking forgiveness from someone, then you are let going your pride passion. And if you are granting pardon to somebody, then you are renouncing your anger passion. Okay. So in both the cases, you are only going to be benefited. Okay. You will feel light yourself when you say forgiveness to somebody whom you are in confrontation for a long time. But the moment you say, please forgive me, the same moment you feel relaxed. There is a feeling of happiness flowing through you, immediately. It starts immediately. So this is such a important tool in the path of liberation. Likewise, even on being apologized by us, if someone does not grant us pardon, he will harm only himself by not giving up the anger feeling. So your job is to seek forgiveness. If the other person does not grant, then it is his problem. It is not your problem. When you seek forgiveness, you are yourself getting benefited. We have assuredly adored Madhav Dharma, modesty religion in our inner self by seeking apology or by giving up pride passion. Even without being pardoned by him, we cannot be deprived of the benefit which we have secured by begging pardon. This is the reason why the Acharyas grant pardon to all living beings from their side without waiting for being approached by other living beings for pardon. And they seek pardon from all without entertaining the doubt whether anybody will grant them pardon or not. And in this way, inculcate supreme forbearance, modesty, etc., 10 religions in the inner self. Whether someone begs pardon from us or not, whether grants pardon to us or not, we from our side grant pardon to all living beings and beg pardon from all living beings. Therefore, we are nobody's enemy, nor is anybody our enemy in our vision. If the world believes and knows us as enemy, it is its own concern. What have we to do with it? Nothing. Moreover, what right have we got to interfere with others' belief and thinking? So others' belief and thinking is their own, and they are responsible for what they are doing in their life. Okay? So we have nothing to do whether they give us forgiveness or not. When we have asked for forgiveness, asked for pardon, then we are being benefited immediately. We engross ourselves in our inner self by correcting our own belief and thinking. Let the world bother about its own affairs. Such a passionless modification is Samavani in the real sense, true sense. Now the 8th one, page number, last paragraph. The best depiction of the observance of forbearance can be only the depiction of the tranquility possessed saints who have achieved the state of passionlessness as depicted here under. Arimitra mahal masan kanchan काच निंदन तुति करन अर्धावतारन असि प्रहारन मैं सदा समताधरन. Forbearance is not the name of cowardliness. Observing forbearance is also not possible by coward persons. But bravery is also neither the name of killing others nor is the name of conquering others. To kill our own passions, emotions, and to conquer our own auspicious and inauspicious desires is the real bravery. So you see, our Tirthankars were so brave that they killed their own passions and emotions, and they conquered their own auspicious and inauspicious desire, and that is the real bravery. The conquerors and killers of others in the battlefield may be brave warriors, not brave observer of religion. A brave observer of religion can only be the possessor of forbearance, not a brave warrior. So there are two examples given in the next page about this point. The point is about the bravery that the concerned person has shown is of, in the next page, not in the same page, last paragraph, is about Parshvanath Muniraj. So when Kamat was doing afflictions, okay, afflictions being inflicted on Parshvanath, okay, and the monk Parshvanath was having equanimity for both Kamat and Dharmendra. Dharmendra was saving him, actually protecting him, and Kamat was attacking him, but he was having equanimity for both, and that was written here in that verse that we read from Chedala. Hari Mitra Mahal Masan Kanchan Kach Nidan Thuti Karan. So whether it is a friend or it is a foe, the monk will always have equal feeling for both. Okay, so this was the first example. The second example is of Shrenik Raja. So the Yashodhar Muniraj was meditating, and Shrenik threw a dead snake on him. And on that dead snake there were uncountable ants. But the monk Yashodhar Muni was absorbed in the self, and he never reacted anything. So when Chelna told that our Muniraj will not remove the snake from their neck, and that is a true Muniraj is like that only. And so Shrenik thought that this may not be true. So Shrenik, Chelna was his wife, so Shrenik took Chelna to the monk, and to his surprise he saw that a monk was so calm in his meditation, and he was really unaffected by that incident. And when he came out of his meditation, he gave blessings to both of them. And at that point of time, Shrenik Raja's heart melt, and then he became a Jaini, and he started following Jainism in the right sense. And then he, of course, achieved right belief. And then when he went to the Samosaran, the Holy Assembly Hall, and there he attained complete right faith. Okay, Shaik Samyak Darshan. So this is the second example. Now moving on to the ninth point, the same page 202. So it's already marked, so you can read yourself. But I'll tell you in a very short that when we ask for forgiveness, we should see that the same mistake is not repeated again and again. Okay, if it is repeated again and again, then it does not make sense for seeking an apology. Okay, so you should see and you should be alert that the same mistake is not being repeated. The next and the 10th point is that you should not sought apology from others only. You should also uh, beg pardon from the self, that is your own soul, and also should grant pardon to the self. Therefore, he is infinitely unhappy because he asked for forgiveness from others, but he never forgive himself. Okay, he never asked for forgiveness from himself, and that's why he's not happy. Here one may ask, what to beg pardon from the self, and also what to grant pardon to the self. The answer is, do we recognize that we have committed innumerable crimes against our own self, or have we not committed injustice against the self? Have we indulged in lesser measure of anger against the self? Have we done in any way lesser insult of our own self? Have we not made this, the great Lord of the three worlds, a slave of the objects of senses and a beggar begging alms from door to door? Have we not inflicted infinite miseries on the self? Have we taken care of the self till today? So these are some of the questions that we need to ask ourselves, and we should also seek pardon from us, ourselves, and also grant pardon to the self. So this we have never done. We have done it for others only, but we have never realized this mistake. And by manifesting attachment and aversion, we have in fact committed innumerable crimes on our own self. Okay, so we should also forgive ourselves, and we should also seek forgiveness from ourselves. These are some of the great sins, faults which we have committed against our own self, and the punishment for which we ourselves are getting since endless time. So long as we ourselves do not take due care of our own soul, do not understand it, do not recognize it, do not get absorbed in it, do not get engrossed in it, till then we are not going to get rid of those sins, faults, and miseries. Now, coming to the last point, the apathy towards one's own soul. Apathy means disinterest. The apathy towards one's own soul is assuredly an infinite anger against it. Infinite anger means anantanobandhi krodh. That thing for which we have an apathy in our heart always naturally remains overlooked by us. The sole intention of granting pardon to the self-soul and begging pardon from the self is only this, that we should know it, recognize it, and should get absorbed only in it. There is no need of formality of speech for granting pardon to the self and begging pardon from the self. The real speech of apology, Nischay Shama Vani, is only to get awakened toward towards the self-soul. For this, there is no need for dependency on others. And the conventional speech of apology, Vyavhar Samavani, gets automatically evolved due to subsidence of passions like anger, etc., by taking shelter of the self-soul.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, got a question. So, like, when it talks about pardoning the self, but we are the self, no? Like, like if we think about from the perspective of errors in seven fundamentals, one of the things it said was we always consider ourselves as like the third person. So when we are saying that, like, how are we going to ask for forgiveness from self when the self is me?
So there are two parts to it. One is the substance, the other is the modification. So the substance always remains undisturbed, okay? So it is the manifestation or the modification, okay? The modification is asking forgiveness from the substance. पर्याय द्रव्य से क्षमा मांगती है. Why? Because so long the modification is always looking outside for happiness, whereas the real happiness lies in ourselves. That is the substance. Okay. So this modification never took shelter of the substance, and that is why it is asking to seek pardon from the self. Okay. So when they talk of the self, that means that the modification is asking for forgiveness from the substance.
So some modification, like in this modification means like in this life, I'm a human. So this is my modification?
No, your modification is the feeling that you are experiencing every moment.
Okay.
Sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are sad, right? Sometimes you are helping others, sometimes you are creating problems for others. So all different types of roles that you play is all about the modification of yours. It is only of one moment. The next moment a new modification arises. Then the next moment another rises. So it rises in one moment, and the next moment it also gets destroyed. So this keeps on going on, and the substance remains constant in between this. Okay. So the substance is always constant. It is the observer, and the modifications come and go, rise and destroyed every moment. So this is how. So the modification is asking for forgiveness from the substance, and the substance is granting forgiveness to the modification. So that is the asking pardon from the self. So this is how it takes place. Hence, let us pray in the end that we may all get seated, absorbed in the self, get engrossed in the self-soul by forgiving our own selves, along with begging pardon from and granting pardon to others. May we remain immersed in the infinite bliss up to infinite period by keeping the self absorbed in the pure self-conscious reality, the ocean of infinite peace, eternal bliss. So, Shamavani, you can now realize how good is this Shamavani. So we should not keep enmity with anybody. Nobody is our enemy in this world. We are all are our friends only. It is because of the karma that they act like that. Just as Kamat was inflicting pain on monk Parshvanath, but Parshvanath was absorbed in himself and he never paid attention what was going on outside. So the upsarg or the infliction that was being done on him never affected his meditation, and he concentrated on the self for more than 48 minutes, and he manifested omniscience. He manifested omniscience in himself, Keval Gyan. So nobody is able to disturb you if you choose not to be disturbed. But if you choose to be disturbed, then you will definitely get disturbed by others. So it is your own choice, it is your own destiny, it is your own efforts. So if you understand this concept very clearly in your mind, then when there is a situation in your day-to-day life or real life, those decisions that you have made about the concepts that are going to bring comfort in those situations. Okay. And the situation may demand that you manifest passion in yourself. But because of these teachings and preachings that you have done, and the kind of contemplation and the decision that you have arrived at will help you to navigate that situation. And you will not get disturbed, you will not be manifesting miseries or sin in yourself. Okay. And the same situation, you will be in fact doing dissociation of karmas rather than binding new karmas. Okay. So this can be possible by practicing discriminative knowledge. Okay. So we are all capable of doing it, and we should understand these concepts very clearly. And when we understand clearly, we will be able to apply it in our day-to-day life, and we will get the result also then and there. So this is something which is going to come with us when we move on to the next life. All other things are going to remain here, including our body also. Okay. So you should prioritize in your life the teachings and the preachings and the understandings and the practice. Okay. So if you are able to spend of time with Jinvani, with the studies, then it is definitely going to change your karmas, change your emotions, change your perception, change your internal understanding, and then of course you will be able to experience eternal bliss and make your life happier. So this is all things are only for our benefit. Okay. So we cannot do anything for others, but we can always do everything for ourselves. Okay. And so this is the opportunity that we have got in this life with the access to true God, true scriptures, and true Guru. Okay. So it is very difficult to get access to this, and there are people who wants to know about this, but they are not getting the right contacts. And then there are people who have got these contacts and have got everything in life if they want to do good of their life, but they are not indulging in this kind of studies, and they are just passing their time, and they are themselves responsible for what they are doing. But we are very clear that the destiny is in our hand. We have to put in efforts in the right direction, as stated by our Jinwani and the Guru, okay? And their instructions, and if we follow their the path shown by them, then definitely in the first year itself. So giving such a big book for self-study, some of you will be able to do it on your own, but majority of the people may not study at all, because we are seeing that there is so much of low attendance in our class. So I'm wondering what they are doing at this point of time. Some may have genuine problems, I do understand, but then still people are not able to, connect to the classes. It's just a surprise for me. And it is not only this class, but in every class, I think 50% is a very good ratio. If we are getting 50% to attend the class, it's still a good ratio. But in my other classes, in the 2016 batch, they were all people, all students very serious, and they never used to miss a class. So that kind of, now the quality of students is also getting down day by day. And we can only, they are all grown up and they are all responsible, and they understand their responsibility also. And even then, if they don't do it and get involved in some other things which are not that important like this, then, and that also only 2 hours a week. We are not having classes every day, only 2 hours a week. So I can't help it. It is their own choice and their own efforts, and they are only going to enjoy it if they do it. So we are not concerned about that, but still we leave it to them. Any other questions? Even if you are reading now or later on, and if you find any question, you are always welcome to ask me personally. And the concept clarity paper 2 would be, you choose any of the 5 religion out of 10, and you can also include Shamavani in it. So there will be 11, okay? So out of 11, you choose any 5 and write the definition and one thing that you like the most about that religion, okay? So only 3-4 lines for the definition and 2-3 lines what part that you like the best and why, okay? So 2-3 lines for this and 2-3 lines for this. That makes 5-6 lines for one religion, and for 5 religions it will be around 30 lines, which I think approximately it will be around 1.5 page full script, okay? Not more than that. So So my idea is that you should go through at least 5 religions yourself, okay? And then you write it down. So today is 4th of October, and 4 plus 21. So 25th October will be the last date for this, okay? Any 5 religion, definition, plus one thing that you like the most about this religion. That's all. And of course, you have to write Mythbuster half a page. Every one of you have written it, so I have no complaint about it. But still, I am just giving a reminder. So this is
Excuse me.
concept clarity 2. And around 20th of October, I will release the 3 questions on Viva.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
In Chennai, we have Navratri festival till October 24th. Can you please extend the timing?
So you are a Jain or a Hindu?
We are a Jain only.
So
but
we
in our
don't
temple,
we don't celebrate Navratri.
We don't celebrate in a grand way as Bengalis and other people do. But in our temples, we'll have Dharma Devi and all. No, they will decorate for on all the 8 days.
Oh.
All the days, till 24th. 24th is the last day. So we don't celebrate as other people do. But right in Chennai,
when does it start? When does it start?
14th of October.
14th. So today is still 4th. You have 10 days time. You finish it off in 10 days. Okay.
Okay, Ji.
Yeah. So it's good that you know about that. So you do it in advance. Okay.
So what did you say was the deadline last day?
24th October.
25th, I said, no? 25th.
Okay.
21 days. They give 21 days. So 4th plus 21 is 25th October.
Okay.
Okay. So you can start doing it right now also. And around 20th October, I'll be giving you 3 questions. Okay. That will be for Viva. Okay. That is pending. And the 3rd paper will go on. It's a big, the chapters are very big. And then we have one other book also, Nimit Upadan. Okay. So it will go on.
When do we have the Viva?
Pardon?
When do we have Viva? You will give the question, but when
I will give the question around 20th of October, and then you will have another 21 days to answer that. So it will be somewhere around November 15th, I suppose, right? November, not 15th, November 11th. And then on 15th November, by the time you finish this, we will have LCPA, life-changing practical application. There will be 3 examples given, and that also you will be given 21 days. And by that time, our paper 3 will also be getting over. So then you will have another 21 days for paper 3. So you will have enough time. And the syllabus, I don't prefer to give you so much of homework, you know. I just put emphasis on understanding the concept. Marks, less marks, more marks, doesn't matter. If you are able to understand the concept very clearly, and if you are able to apply it in your day-to-day life, then I think you have passed out with flying colors. And if you are not able to connect it to when the real problem comes up, then I think even if you may get 90% marks, but you are still a failure in the right sense. So
Sorry, sir.
yeah.
Sorry, sir. Can I ask?
Yeah, ask.
Sir, just want to make sure. So, sir, when you say concept clarity paper, so I just wrote one concept clarity paper first time, but I don't know if I did it right way. I
have not checked it. I have not checked it, but I'll be doing it in another couple of days. And
no rush, sir. Just want to make sure, like, if I'm doing it,
it's
mainly I listen to the lecture, I read the chapter, and then I
Right.
just summarize it. So these are 3 steps to do the paper correctly, right?
I think that this is more than enough, and this is the right way of doing it. And I will definitely check and give you the feedback.
No rush, sir. Thank you.
And your
And this is
first term exams are also pending, no?
Yes, sir. First term exams are also pending. This was actually the first assignment I have ever done. So I was
Okay.
like,
So,
I don't know, doing it.
when you will be giving the objectives, paper 2 and 3, we have almost covered everything. And paper
Yeah.
1, you need to do it on your own through recordings. Okay. And if you have
Yes,
any
sir.
questions, you ask me personally. And once you are through to these 3 papers, then we will give the objectives first, and then we will take up the assignments one by one. So at least it will not be very much, but anyway, we have to complete those
I'm
pending.
sure, sir. I'll discuss with this you again, because I'll probably get confused. And I just want to make sure for this concept clarity, October 25th, I'm doing it properly, and this is the way to do it, right, sir? Like if a concept clarity.
I'll just check it and I'll give you further feedback also if there is anything wrong in it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
also for all the other students also, and myself also. 21 days is given, and it is ideal that we complete it in 21 days to follow the routine. But for whatever genuine or not genuine reason, if any of us is unable to complete it in 21 days, don't hesitate to give up. Just complete it whenever during the term. If something is pending due to any genuine reason, because even if you submit late, you just lose late submission mark. Otherwise, you get everything. Plus, the learning that you get is, of course, there. But even from the marks point of view and from the exam point of view, you are going to just the late submission mark, which is 2 marks or 5 marks, right?
It's 2 marks.
So only 2 marks are going to get deducted. So if you have anything, because at any point somebody or the other will have something genuine, so don't hesitate to not complete. Either you can take, complete at least, instead of doing whole 6 pages, if you want to do only 1 page summary and submit, that is one attitude and one way you can do it, to submit it on time. Or if you genuinely want to do everything and great, do it, submit it late, that is all right. Don't make that a reason for you to get stressed about the submission.
Very true. And the thing is that being the first term, I never deducted any marks for anybody. Okay. And maybe this term also I will not cut marks, but from next year onward, the 3rd term onwards, I will definitely deduct the marks. But what difference does it make whether 2 marks here and there? Doesn't make a difference. But one thing I would say, that you should attend class every time. And the second thing is that you should do whatever the assignments are given on time. That's a habit of a good student, we should not be doing it on the last day. And there are some students who are in the last semester now, that is the 10th semester, and till today also, like tomorrow is the last day. Out of 50 students, only I think 15 or 20 students have submitted. So others will also submit by the deadline tomorrow. I will have around 35 students submitting, but still 15 students will always be submitting in late. And I don't want to say anything to them now, because it's already 5 years and they don't listen, and they will always.
No, sir, actually, sir, it's more like being respectful of your time. And I think, sir, the other part is like more than marks. For me, at least, I feel like if I don't understand the concept and I'm just rushing and submitting it, so that is also like, I don't want to do it just for the sake of marks. So that's why, like, I just wanted to know, like, if someone wants to do understand the concept, do it properly. So, like, for example, the assignment that you just gave, so it's basically to read the book, to listen to your lecture, and then just do the assignment. That's basically the crux of it.
Yeah. And if your fundamentals will be good, you will be able to enjoy it. more, because what happens after a certain level, we connect one principle with another principle, and then there is another principle coming up out of it. So all this connectivity will happen only if you have a clarity on the concepts. And these are all fundamental topics, and it's going to come to you used to again and again. So the other day we were talking about 7 fundamental elements, and it has got wide application. Every now and then you will come up with 7 fundamentals. So once and for all, if you understand it properly, and then you don't have anything to understand more about that, you just simply you read it and you will understand.
Priyanka ji, since you joined recently, another even better approach than what you said is I wanted to do it. I have not done it, but I can just give you idea. Is that after a lecture, immediately, in that same week, if you can summarize those 2 lectures in your own words in your own notes, then whenever concept clarity comes up, whatever be the topic, you just have to
I think we lost Aditi ji. See,
So,
I think I understand what she's saying is to summarize like within the week when it's fresh, and then the concept clarity paper, that time we can use our own
most of the
points.
time I don't make it hard also,
Yeah.
I'm not in support of giving more homeworks and
No, absolutely, sir.
yeah, so I also made it very easy and relaxful for you, so everybody can do it. There is nothing hard in as such in these assignments. Anyway, we are late by 21 minutes, and I think we should end here.